let's suppose that this is my file. Okay, this is my directory, and the name of this directory is projects. This is the sensitive file, sensitive folder, you can say. In that we'll be having some files. So we know how to create this folder. We know how to create files inside that. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Anyone can confirm?
No.
Yes, sir.
Also, you guys are not able to see my screen?
It's visible. The paint is visible.
Yeah, paint. It's paint.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, it's visible for all, right? Yes, okay. So this is the folder which is there. So now I don't want everyone to access this folder. I want to have only few set of people who should be having access to this folder. I only want few set of people who should be having access to this folder. Guys, this concept is very, very important. It means I have to set some permissions. Let's suppose I have a house. My friends can come in, but they're not supposed to go and check my personal Almira. They're not supposed to check my pay stubs. They're not supposed to check my income tax documents. Okay. So if people are allowed, it does not mean that they have permissions. One thing. Other thing is, but few things they can go in kitchen and grab something. These are the basic permissions which are okay. It means they can have a look. Okay, this is my personal room, but they are not supposed to open it and go. So if this is a directory, there are three set of permissions that are attached to it. Read, write, execute. Value of read is 4. Value of write is 2. Value of execute is 1. There are 3 types of permissions which you can give it to someone. That person can read, that person can write. Write means they can execute, they can, modify the files. Execute means if there is some application, there is some script, there is something that needs to be run. Okay, like when you download a software, you install it, right? It means you are executing that, executable. Okay, so read means just to see that. Write means to modify that file. Execute that, if it is an application, you can run it or not. So in this world, you can always give these 3 type of permissions to anyone. Maybe you can give all permissions. Maybe you can give only read and write permissions, something like that. Tell me one thing. If you will be giving all the permissions, what will be the cumulative value? If you will give all permissions, the value will be
Mass.
If you will be giving only read and write, the value will be 6. If you will be giving only read and execute, the value will be 5. Okay. Read, write, execute. Read, write, execute. RWX. Read, write, execute 4 to 1. If you're giving all the permissions, then it is 7. If you're giving only 2 permissions, then it is 6. If you're giving read and execute only, it is 4 plus 1, 5. All good till this point? Okay. So when I call it as RWX, I'm using symbolic method, symbols. When I'm using numbers, when I say 7, it actually means RWX only. 4 plus 2 plus 1, 3. If I'm saying RX, I'm saying the value is 5. Okay. If I'm saying R only, value is 4. Okay. This is good. So the permissions which we can give is this thing. So now the question comes, whom you will be giving permissions. Whenever we think of permissions, we think of two things. What are the permissions? Second question is whom you are giving permissions. What are the permissions and whom you are giving permissions? So there are three set of people in this world whom you will be giving permissions. There are three set of people in this world whom you will be giving permissions. One is the owner who created this folder, file and a folder. He is the owner. He will be deciding the permissions. Okay. Some people call it as owner. Some people call it as user. Let's suppose I am the one. Harry is the one who created this. So Harry decides to give permissions as full permissions. RWX. It means he is giving himself 7 permissions. So the second set of people will be some group. The second set of people will be some group. Let's suppose I created one group called Linux engineers. And I added 5 people. John, Mark, Radvi, Vicky, and Sumit. Okay. I added 5 people in there. So now, if I will keep on giving one individual permissions to all, it will be very difficult for me to manage. So what I did, I created a group, Linux engineers. What I want these Linux engineers, right? They should have permissions, read permissions to this. They should have read permissions to this. The second set of people in this world whom you will be giving permissions is the group ownership, group membership. Okay. To this group, I want to give permissions. To this group, I want to give permissions. So what permissions I want to give? I want to give them read and execute. I want to give them read and execute. I want to give them read and execute. What will be the value? 5. Okay. And by default, if you don't have any group, the first set of user will be owner. The second set of user will also be owner only. You remember when you create a user, you also get one group with the same name for that user. So that group will come here. But if you want to assign it to any other group, you can do this. Okay. So the first set of people whom you will be giving permissions will be owner. The second set of people whom you give permissions is some group. Okay. Who are the third set of people? Anyone else in this world? Anyone else in this world refers to others. Refers to others. You can stop others to have this permission. You can have only read permissions given to them. Let's give them read permissions only. What will be the value? 4. Let me make it more better. So you see, there are 3 set of permissions: read, write, and execute. And you give these permissions to 3 different set of people. 1, 2, and 3. So whenever you have to For example, your manager comes in and say, can you modify the permissions for this directory? You will ask, okay, who is the what should be the permission? He will say, just change it to 755. He will say, just change it to 755. So it means he is telling for the owner, right, to give 7 permissions, for the group keep 5 permissions, for others keep this permission. So how you will check the permissions and how you will change the permission, now the question comes in. Okay, so the command which we are going to do is chmod. The command which we are going to understand is chmod. Chmod is change mode. It will be helpful when we are working on permissions. This is the command which you will be using. Let's suppose I want to give this permission 755 to projects folder. I will say this thing. Okay, 755 to projects folder. So remember, in this command, the first value belongs to the user owner group. The second value belongs to the group ownership. The third value belongs to others. If someone, this is having 3 permissions for 3 different set of people in this world. First, you are giving read, write, execute to the owner. You are giving read and execute to the group. You are giving read and execute to others. You have to see in that way. Okay, are you getting me? Anyone having any questions, please tell me.
No, sir.
Just be with me, I'll be giving you
If-
some more examples. So
if I want to give permission only user, then
let's see few examples and then I will answer your question as well. So let me go to my home directory. Go to my home directory. I'm going to create a folder for today, 26th of June, 2022. To practice, I will go into this folder. So if I want to check the files and folders in this folder, I will do ls minus lrt. There is no file and folder here. Ls is a command to list, minus lrt are different options which we use. Okay, so I want to create a one folder called projects. Okay, the moment you check this ls minus lrt, ls command will simply show you something like this. It will not give you the detail for this files and folders. Ls minus l will give you long listing of the file. Long listing means it gives you more detail about this particular file. It is telling this is the user who created, it belongs to this group, what I was telling you, and it got created at this time. So listen to me very carefully. ls minus lrt is the option which we will be using. Let me create one other folder called labs. ls minus lrt now will give me this. Always remember, ls minus lrt is a good combination to use with ls command to list down the, if you want to see what is there in the file and folders. Okay, what files are present in this particular location. Now in this 7 column output, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, this is 7 column output. Okay, the first column is your permission string. The first column is your permission string. The first column is your permission string. Try to understand this. This is the 9 characters of permissions. The first 3 permissions are for the user. Who is the user? Column number 3 is the user. Second set of 3 characters from 3 to 6 belongs to this group. This is a group because we don't have any other group. So this user, when it was created, it is also having one primary group, right? So that is given to this. Okay. This is others. This is others. So now, if I go back to this diagram, it means what you see, this thing gets combined and gives you a permission string in total in ls minus lrt command. So it shows you something like this: rwx r-x r-. These 9 characters are referred as permission string. Are you with me on this? These 9 characters are called permission string. If you have to check permissions for any file in a folder, you will go to that folder and just do ls minus lrt. You will see this thing. So let me create one file. I will create one empty file using touch. I can say my schedule.txt ls minus lrt. So you see, now when you are doing long listing, this file is coming in white color and this is coming in blue color. Maybe you will be working in some different, this is VMware Workstation that is giving these colors. How many of you can easily understand whether this is a folder and a file? How you can figure out whether this is a file and a folder?
The
By
first
looking
is
at the permissions.
Pardon?
D, it's a D for directory, and
Yes, very good. So in this
mine.
output, right, it is not based on, okay, this is purple color, that is my favorite, that is the directory. No. You just see this long listing output. If it starts with D, it is a directory. If it does not start with D, it is a file. So now, what are the permissions for the directory? 7, 7, 5. 7, 7, 5. What are permission of the file? 6, 6, 4. Are you guys getting me? I have not changed any permissions. The moment you create a file, it gives permission something like this in the background automatically. So I want to change the permission of projects to 7. All user, group, and others should have read permission, read, write, and execute permissions. chmod 777 projects ls minus lrt. See, I have given 7, 7, 7. If you want to change the permissions to, the owner should have only that this should have only read, write, execute, read. So what will be the value? If I only want the owner to have all the permissions and others to have read permissions, what should be the value?
711.
744.
Oh, sorry, 744.
Correct. chmod 744. The moment you do this, just check this again. Is it updated to 744? Yes. Good. So for some time, for security reasons, we don't have to give any permissions to others. So what will be the value? chmod 7. I don't want others to have any permissions. No permissions here. So what will be the value? So I want to have owners all permissions. I want to have groups only read permissions and others no permission. So what will be the value?
740.
7/4 only.
740. Let's try that. Yes. So you see this? This is a complete 9-character string in which first 3 characters belongs to the owner. This guy is the owner and this guy will be the group. Okay. So now always remember, you have to see, visualize this diagram in the background when you will be working on permissions. The first guy will be the owner. The second guy will be the group. If the group is not available, something different, then the group with the same name will be shown here. Okay. So now,
Sir, why does the text file are not executable?
pardon?
Why the text file is not executable?
Okay. So text file is not executable because it is a text file. It is not an executable file. It's not an application. It is just a text file.
Like, what is the exact meaning of executable? Like, why the folder is executable?
Okay. I create one script. Okay.
आंटी लग रहा आंटी लग रहा
So this script executes two commands.
हाँ आप भी चक्कर से पूरा पैर वाक्यो कौन किंग का फिर रहा पता चल देखियो कौन किंग का फिर रहा जाएगा तो